Hello, everybody. Welcome to the membership program. Welcome to our live class this morning. It's great to have all of you with me for the live class. It's always great to have you with me for the live classes. It's always great to have you as members of our membership program. My name is Todd, and I hope everybody out there is looking forward to the live class as I am, and as I always am. For this live class, as you can all see here, we're going to be looking at animals. We're going to be talking about animals. And so I hope everybody is ready to start talking about some animals because I'm ready to get into this. So let's jump on in. Yeah, so here we see some great animals here. We have some domesticated animals, like a dog, and then we have, it looks like a wolf there. Beautiful animal, not so domesticated. And then we have the tiger. Specifically, it looks like a Bengal tiger, And then we have this strange looking animal that we call a camel. And my understanding is that camels are not only strange looking, their behavior is not so friendly sometimes. It's rather crude. So, all right. So, I have some questions for everybody out there. The first one is this: is it common to have pets in your country? Is it common to have pets in your country? Well, I'm here in the United States of America, and I can say very definitely it is very common to have pets in our country. And I guess the most common pets in this country would be a dog or a cat. Okay, dogs and cats of various breeds. The different types of dogs and cats, we call them breeds of dogs, and breeds of cats. But we have a large number of breeds. In this picture, it looks like, I don't know, that looks like a mixed breed, but it looks like it may have some Labrador in it and possibly some Shepherd in there. It has some Shepherd features, but looks like a beautiful dog, very friendly dog. I'm a dog lover. So, in answer to this question, yes, it is common to have pets in the United States of America here. And people love their pets, their family members here in the United States. Do you have any pets? Do you have any pets? Here we see kittens, the baby cats, the young cats. We call them kittens. Um, Me currently, no, I don't have any pets at this time, but for many years I had dogs. I also had cats uh, for a while. I'm not a big cat person. A lot of times here in the United States, people will ask the question, are you a dog person or a cat person? Are you a dog person or a cat person? Because at least the stereotype is that dogs and cats have different personalities. Dogs are very friendly, and they become emotionally attached to their owners, and they're very faithful and loyal, and they like to be in the company of their owners. That's a dog. On the other hand, cats are more independent, and they're more of well, feed me and go away, leave me alone. Yeah, you're nice when you feed me, but yeah, leave me alone. That's a cat. That's a stereotype. There's probably some truth to that. Cats tend to be much more independent, I think. So anyway, the question is, are you a dog person or are you a cat person? Well, I'm a dog person. I'm definitely a dog person. I love dogs, but I like big dogs. And so for many years I had German Shepherds and I had Rottweilers and breeds of that nature. I love Labradors and I like Huskies are not so big, but I like Huskies. But my but currently, answer to the question here, no, I don't have pets at this time. Okay. Let's see. Moving on to number 3. Why do you think that some people like having a pet? Why do you think that some people like having a pet? Oh, come on. Pets are great companions. That's what they're for. They're companion animals. That's what we call them. Pets are companion animals. And yeah, so pets, they have their own personalities, of course. So here in the United States, and I suspect in other countries as well, pets are like family members. They're family members, and they're in a way like children. They're in a way like children. You have to take care of them. They depend on you for food and for shelter and for other things. So yeah, people. I think that's why people like them. When I had my dogs, I used to enjoy running with them, taking them out and watching them play with other dogs, and at various points, I had several dogs at the same time. And so, sometimes I was taking care of my former roommate's dog and everything. So I used to enjoy just watching the dogs play and fight. Not really fight, but just play like dogs play. And so I used to enjoy that and throw frisbee. I had a couple of German shepherds that they were great frisbee dogs. You'd throw the frisbee, a disc, throw it to them, and they'd catch it. And, a lot of fun, a lot of fun. So that's my reasoning. Okay, I'm moving on here to number 4. Did you have any pets as a child? Here we have a little girl with a bunny rabbit. A bunny rabbit. Good pet. I know somebody who has some rabbits as pets. Yeah, I did. Actually, for a while I had pet turtles. Can you believe that? I had pet turtles, painted turtles. I had some goldfish. And I had some toads. Toads are, well, they look like frogs. They're not frogs. Toads are amphibians. They live partially in the water, partially on land. But yeah, I had toads, turtles, fish. And when I was very, very young, I had a dog, but this dog that I had, apparently, I don't remember very much, but my mom tells me that the dog was jealous when I was born and became kind of mean, and so they got rid of the dog at that time. But but yeah, so I had pets. My grandmother had a dog. I was close to her dog. That dog was also kind of mean toward other people, but I got along with that dog okay. But other people, that dog was a problem. Um, but uh, but yeah, yeah. But I didn't really have pets until I was, I guess, maybe around 25 years old. And then for many years, I had dogs, like I said, German Shepherds, which are my favorite breed, or the German Shepherd is my favorite breed of dog. So, all right, let's see. So, moving on to number 5. Ha, what's your favorite animal? What's your favorite animal? Well, what do we have here? We have the giraffe. The giraffe. We have 3 giraffes. These are some interesting animals, those long necks. And I don't recommend any of you try to have a giraffe as a pet. I don't think that would be an appropriate pet, but they are certainly interesting looking animals. So, what's my favorite animal? I have a lot of favorite animals, I think. I love animals in general. I said before, I'm not really a cat person. Well, when I said that, I meant like domesticated cats. I'm not really a domesticated cat person, but the big cats, the wild cats, those are wonderful animals, lions and tigers. But I really like the cheetah. I really like the cheetah. The cheetah is just a fascinating animal, the fastest land animal on Earth. It can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in I forget how fast it can accelerate that, but that's how fast a car you're going that's the speed limit here in the United States is 60 miles per hour. So can you imagine you're driving your car 60 miles per hour and there's a cheetah keeping up with you as you're driving along? That's incredible to me, but it's a little different because a cheetah cannot go at that speed for very long. It exhausts itself very quickly. So, but they're fascinating animals. They are really fascinating animals. They're just fast and very high twitch or fast twitch muscle fibers. Those things like a rocket. But again, their endurance is not very long. So, but that's my favorite animal. I'll throw that out there, cheetah. But again, I like the lions, I like the tigers, and I like a lot of different animals. All right. Moving to number 6. What kind of wild animals are there in your country? What kind of wild animals are there in your country? Here we have a squirrel. Squirrels are very common here in the United States. I have squirrels that come right up. They're almost domestic animals. They come right up to you. This is a red squirrel. Where I am, we don't have red squirrels, or they're not so common. Most of the squirrels that are around where I am are gray squirrels, but we have a lot of them. In the middle here, we have a raccoon with that mask over its eyes. Those raccoons, they're nice to look at, but they're not so friendly animals. We have raccoons here where I am. They get into the garbage cans, and you don't want your dogs going after a raccoon because a raccoon can be a very vicious animal, especially when it is cornered. So, yeah, they're nice to look at, but they're not so nice creatures. And then over here, it looks like we have a fox. Beautiful animal, a fox, a wild dog. If you have chickens, you don't want a fox around. But yeah, here we have all kind of wild animals in the United States. We have deer where I am. We have a lot of deer. You have to be careful because those deer, they are well known for just running out into the streets and just stopping, and they can cause some serious accidents. But yeah, so we have deer, and we have different kind of fish here. Of course, we have all different kinds of fish, and we have a lot of different wild animals here. But we don't have wild animals like lions and tigers and cheetahs here, except in our zoos, of course. But yeah, we don't have elephants there. You have to go on safari. You have to go to Africa, and we don't have hippopotamus or things like that. We do have alligators and crocodiles here in the United States. We have sharks, and Yeah, all different kind of birds. So a lot of different kinds of wild animals here in the United States. All right. Number 7, how do you feel about zoos? How do you feel about zoos? Well, personally, yeah, I know different opinions about zoos, but I'm in favor of them. I yeah, I believe zoos do a good thing for the animals. I think they take care of them, and I think they provide, in general, a better quality of life for the animals than a lot of times they would experience out in the wild. You know, one of my favorite, I don't watch a lot of television, really. Well, I watch some sports. I watch boxing and martial arts, but besides that, and I watch some other sports, but mostly boxing and martial arts. But besides that, I don't watch a lot of television. But there is one show, and actually, I think it's a station. It's just a show. It's called Love Nature. Love Nature. I highly recommend this show if you're an animal lover. It's really really very interesting. But I started watching this show. They show it at the fitness center where I go, and that's where I watch it sometimes. And one thing I've learned from that show over the last 2 years or so is just how wild and violent Mother Nature is. It is violent, violent. And the animals out there, they live in some stressful situations. And I really think that zoos, they do a good service for a lot of the animals. And and again, I know that's controversial. People say, well, they're wild animals. They need to be out in the wild. And I get that. I understand that. I get that point. But really, it's violent out there. There's an expression, actually. We say nature is red in tooth and claw. Red in tooth and claw. And I don't know the etymology or the origin of that particular expression. I think it was in a novel, but I have to look that up. Actually, I don't remember the details, but it refers to the fact that nature is bloody and red and violent, and it really is. It really is. So, on that, having said all that, I'm a supporter of zoos. I think they do a good service for the animals in general. So, that, my opinion. All right, number 8. If you could choose to be an animal, which one would you like to be? If you could choose to be an animal, which one would you like to be? Oh my gosh, that is, yeah. All right. Well, on the one hand, I'd like to be a bird, okay, like a big bird, not a bluebird. This is a bluebird or a blue jay. And it's called a blue jay that we're looking at here. It's a beautiful bird, but I'd like to be maybe an eagle or a hawk, something, yeah, a hawk or an eagle, one of those big birds that would be they could fly high and have have that great vision. And but I'd like to be a cheetah too. A cheetah, be able to run 60 miles per hour, at least for a few seconds. Uh, a horse, be great to be a horse. A horse can run or gallop, and yeah, they have some endurance. And horses, when they're running and galloping out in the wild, they look happy to me anyway. So yeah, all right. So those would be, I think, my 3 favorite animals to be some kind of a big bird like an eagle or a hawk, a wild horse, a wild stallion, or possibly cheetah, a cheetah. So all right, but yeah, it'd be great. Of course, I wouldn't want to be an animal forever, but you know. just maybe for a few days or something like that. Do you think that animals have emotions? Of course. Yes, I think animals have emotions. I have no doubt about that. Um, like I said, I had dogs for many years, and there's no doubt in my mind that animals have emotions and they express those emotions. Animals can become depressed, animals can be exhilarated and excited and happy, and they have a full range of emotions. And so, of course, it depends on the sophistication or the intelligence of the animal too. I'm not talking about here. I'm not talking about goldfish. Goldfish I don't think have a lot of emotion, but uh, animals like dogs, cats. Here we have some monkeys there. Um, yeah, come on. Animals have emotions. Don't tell me otherwise. They have emotions. So I'm firmly convinced on that one. All right. Number 10. Why do you think the cartoon characters are often animals? Why do you think the cartoon characters are often animals? Yeah, okay. Well, cartoon characters, I think, are frequently uh, for children. Now, not always. Some cartoons, of course, are for adults. Some of the animated characters out there are for adults, but many are, they're for children. And children, I think, just have a natural affinity or a natural love for animals, and I think, yeah, I I don't know. I guess I've never thought about this. Why are the cartoon characters animals? I guess, why not? You have cartoon characters that are people, of course. But yeah, I think just children, they like Mickey Mouse and they like Donald Duck and Bugs Bunny and Tom and Jerry, Tom the cat, Jerry the mouse. And I think children are just drawn to animals. Are they are curious, and they just arouse their curiosity and their inquisitive nature. And so it's fitting, it's appropriate. And that's the best I can do with that. That's the best I can do with that the answer. All right. We have some more here. What is the most popular family pet in your country? Well, I mentioned this earlier in the class. Most popular family pet would be a dog or a cat. Definitely dogs, cats, the most popular pets here in the United States. Now, if you decided to get a pet, what would you get? And why would you choose that type of animal? Me, uh, I would I would get a German Shepherd. One day I hope to have a German Shepherd again. I love German Shepherds. They're great, great dogs, and they're beautiful. They are intelligent, they're loyal, and they're fun. They are very fun. One thing is they shed a lot. That means we say they blow their coat. Their the hair or their fur comes out, especially in warm weather or humid weather, and that hair gets all over the carpet and everything in the house. So that's one disadvantage of a dog like a German Shepherd, but yeah, it's a minor issue. But yeah, definitely for me, German Shepherd. German Shepherd. I'd like to have another German Shepherd. Great animals. Number 3, do you think that people should be allowed to take their pets to work with them? Why or why not? Yeah, generally no. Generally no. With some exceptions, it depends on the kind of a pet. If it's a small, it in some situations, if somebody has to take the pet to work, if it's a small pet, something. Um, but generally, no. I don't think are pets should be allowed in the workplace. They become a distraction, I believe, and just yeah, workplace is not generally a an appropriate place for a pet. Um, in your opinion, which animals would be okay to have as a pet? Yeah, okay, well, dogs, cats, uh, fish, rabbits. These are all these are all good pets. Turtles, they make good pets. Um, Fish, they're interesting, especially if you have like an aquarium with exotic fish. A lot of people like to just look at fish and watch fish. They kind of go into a meditative state as they observe the fish and watch them. It's a relaxing kind of a thing. So fish. Um, some people have exotic uh, pets. Some people will have pets like they'll have snakes, different kind of snakes. They'll have crocodiles or alligators as pets. Some people will even have tigers as pets, or even a bear or something like that, or monkeys. I had a friend years ago who had a monkey as a pet. It was okay for him. Probably not for everybody, but horses could be good pets, of course. Horses, if you have a big farm or something like that, nice pet. Um, you could have sheep or goats, pets. But yeah, yeah. But in general, the wild animals do not make good pets. You have to be very, very careful with wild animals. Number five, why do you think that some people prefer to have exotic animals as pets? So I just touched on this. Um, yeah, exotic animals as pets. Well, specifically, because they're exotic. They're different. People like to be different. They're attracted to different kind of animals. Exotic fish. Some people have exotic fish in their aquarium. They can be very beautiful. Um, Again, some people will have snakes, big, long snakes as pets because, yeah, some people just like the exotic. They like to be different. They find the exotic interesting. And almost by definition, I think exotic is interesting. And in a way, the word exotic means interesting. And so, yeah, yeah, I think they're just attracted to people are just exotic attracted to exotic. And number six, what does having a pet add to your life? One, responsibility. Having a pet, of course, depending on what kind of a pet it is, the level of responsibility is different. It's much easier to take care of a goldfish, a single goldfish, than it is if you have a couple of German shepherds or something like that. Um, but yeah, there's the responsibility and there's companionship. A dog, cat, companion animals. That's what we commonly refer to them as. And again, when I had my dogs, I used to like to go out and run with them and like to watch them uh, play and fight like dogs fight and do things like that. So it just adds entertainment, adds and you can also take dogs, for example, to dog parks and meet people and and bond with other people. Is you go out, you take your dogs to dog parks, and you just enjoy camaraderie, uh, because you both have dogs or etc. So yeah, so a lot of good things I think come from having a pet. There's even a lot of research that shows that people who own pets live longer and they have better quality of lives and things like that. So a lot of research, a lot of scientific psychological research shows the benefits of people, especially older people, having a pet. A lot of benefits. Everybody, got to wrap this up. I want to thank you all again for attending the membership program live class. It's always great to have you with me. And I want to highly recommend and encourage you all to continue to join me for the live classes because I look forward to them. And on that, I want to, well, let me just say again, my name is Todd, and I will be looking forward to seeing you all again next time. And in the meantime, I'm wishing you all a wonderful remainder of your day. Bye bye.